1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. This is the Sports Den with Denny Thompson and James Coleman on 1010XL.
That answers my question.
What? What was the question? Oh, if we're into the night.
Yeah.
It's the Sports Den into the night. We can just go with that. Denny Thompson, James Coleman, it is the Sports Den, filling in for Rick Ballou, who you just heard on the Frangie Show. I guess Frank's on vacation.
Yeah. He's not here.
Yeah,
enjoying his life.
All that really matters, right? Before I start going, Gator fan griping about Mike White.
I'll give him such a hard time.
He deserves every bit of it that we're about to give him. But anyway, before I do that, I do have to say this, and I'm not making it as an excuse. I'm actually telling you that I now understand Florida State fans.
Why?
In that it must have been the ACC officials crew doing that game last night. Did you watch the game, the Florida game?
No.
Wow. That's not the reason they lost.
Not at all.
But
not at all.
Oh my gosh. Egregious, the officials. At one point there was some discrepancy between free throws and it's not like Florida's that aggressive. Those teams that are super aggressive so they get a lot of fouls. Yeah, that's not really Florida.
I saw earlier in the on the Frank Frangie show from the 1010XL account, somebody posted that about the fouls around 3:00, and I'm like, that's not why you lost though.
No.
Like the free throws isn't why. 20 plus turnovers had a lot more to do with it. The fact that you were up by 10 with, I believe, was it less than a minute?
No.
You were up by 10, well within when the game.
It was like 10 minutes left.
No, I got it from a Florida fan. OJ is the one who
wasn't less than a minute. It wasn't less than 4 minutes.
My boy Juice is the one who told me because I didn't watch it. All I know is I got up out because I had a phenomenal weekend. I had no responsibilities. It was just me. No boys, no kids, no woman, no nothing. Just me. And grandma. Well, grandma and my brother was there, but basically nobody to wake me up. So I took a nice nap. And I woke up and I'm like, I wonder if Oral Roberts is doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get hit with the text. They're like, they might. And it was like they were down by 4. And with that, I was like, I know there's a chance. Yeah.
No, they were. Look, here's the narrative that everybody's been talking about. Let's just be real about this. The narrative everybody's been talking about is the turnovers. The turnovers happened when Mike White decided that he wanted to run a half-court offense inexplicably. Florida has no such thing. They have no set plays. It's embarrassing. And what's happened is there's people who have been pro Mike White for so long that they cannot see what's happening in front of them. Mm-hmm. And then there's people that's been anti Mike White for so long that they can't. Let me put it this way. Florida or Jacksonville's a football town, right?
Right.
Let's put it this way. Something you talk about, you can identify with. In-game coaching is such a feel. Mm-hmm. It's not, there's the rules, right? Let's put it in football terminology. Let's say you come out of halftime and you're up by 21. And you decide the way you got up by 21 was an up-tempo offense, striking down the field, all that kind of stuff. But you say now, okay, we need to run the ball because we're up by 21.
Right. Take your ball and go home.
So that's cool. You can do that. But the really good coaches, the excellent coaches can still win the game because they'll dominate running the ball. They're prepared for that. The really good coaches will start to feel a momentum shift if it doesn't work, and they'll get right back into what their game plan was.
Right.
Right? The bad coaches just keep doing it, and before you know it, the game's gone, and you lose.
Which is one of my big.
You talked about that with Kendall.
Tag and Kendall Robb.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what happened last night. Is Florida had a 10-point lead, and all of a sudden now if you hear Mike White, he's saying, well, we were wanting to get our rest on offense so we could play defense. Well, you weren't. You weren't playing defense. That's literally what he said in his press conference.
Let me ask you something, because I don't follow basketball like I follow football.
Okay.
Is this something with your defense is every time you go on, you switch, they kind of like hockey, there's a new group of 5 people?
No, I think what he was saying is that Oral Roberts, uses the whole court, width-wise. And so they were spending a lot of energy. Regardless, it doesn't matter.
It's 5 guys on the court.
Yeah,
I got you.
You coach to win.
Right.
And when you slowed the game down, it was painfully obvious. And every Florida fan watching that game felt it slipping and slipping and slipping. And Florida's not that good anyway. Like, to say, well, you can't get rid of Mike White because who are you going to hire that's any better? I mean, really? I mean, what is Florida? What is Florida as a basketball school? Do you demand to be a top 15 program? If so, you probably need to get rid of Mike White. Now, I will say this, and this is where I kind of go pro Mike White. I look at what Florida State's done with Leonard Hamilton. They should have gotten rid of him about 3 times. Mm-hmm. It paid off. Mike White is young. He's making in-game mistakes. Hopefully he learns.
Okay.
But
I was a little bit different.
It's really hard to watch Florida play basketball.
When you say it like that, it's a lot different. Because I didn't know where you were going, but you're saying he's a young coach. Let him get through his bumps and bruises and grow. Leonard Hamilton got that because FSU wasn't a job that anybody wanted. Basketball was an afterthought. Facilities were an afterthought. And he just really kind of grew it. Pat Kennedy messed it up. Pat Kennedy was a good coach, but he messed it up because Pat Kennedy was paying.
Right.
And basically got them in trouble. So that's the reason why he
messed it up because he got caught.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's paying.
Yeah, I'm sure Ham's smooth. So I'm sure Ham or somebody's doing something.
Look, at the end of the day, I don't care enough to be angry about it. But I will say that it was very frustrating to watch. And I don't know enough about basketball, but I know enough about sports to be able to shift to feel momentum shifts. And to feel when, all right, homie, this ain't working.
At a certain point,
Trey Mann came out and hit his first 3 threes in the second half. I'm talking deep.
I thought Trey Mann was supposed to be that's the guy who takes over the game for
dude.
Right?
Yeah, and then they sat him, and I don't remember him taking another shot to the 10-minute mark. And it's like, man, what are we doing? You had a chance to extend the lead several times. And the next thing you know, you're walking the ball off the court. You're holding it to throw up a prayer as the shot clock's running out. It's just, man, it's a bad look. And I don't care if Mike White stays or goes. I'm really not going to lose any sleep over it. 10 minutes after the game, I was over it. But you don't have to be a basketball expert to see a team that got severely outcoached or to know when you see that. And that's what happened last night. People will say, well, he didn't turn the ball over. Actually, he did. Actually, Mike White did turn the ball over because they turned it over when he tried to slow stuff down.
As I said about FSU in the ACC championship, I believe we had 30 turnovers. Anytime you hear that, I know you're supposed to get blown out. We still should have beat Georgia Tech. People said Leonard Hamilton didn't cause the turnovers, and what I did was I in turn flipped an old adage that was used on the football program. Mm-hmm. You're either coaching it or you're allowing it. Mm-hmm. And I believe MJ that game had 15 turnovers. Yeah, 15 points. And Georgia Tech scored, I want to say some stupid high number of points off of turnovers. But that 30 points, his 15 points, he was negative 15. If you would have took him out the game, he wouldn't have 15. He wouldn't have 15 mm-hmm. turnovers. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have got 30 points. Mm-hmm. You would have probably had a better chance of winning.
Right.
He wasn't the hot hand that game. So it's just things that you got to look at. But in your case, Trey Mann was the hot hand, and you needed to put him in more situations. But I just love how people melt down when it comes to this stuff. People, they know they don't follow Florida basketball like that. You just want them to be able to win because you've won. Well, you played in 3 national championships with the last coach. You won 2 of them, and at worst, you feel like you should be a Sweet 16 team every year. You should be able to
well,
be
that's the question, right? Is that reasonable?
I believe that's reasonable.
Yeah, I do too. I think that is reasonable for Florida. I don't. If Ohio State had beaten Oral Roberts and Ohio State had won the game the same exact way that Oral Roberts beat Florida, then we wouldn't be having these same passionate conversations. It's the fact that it's Oral freaking Roberts.
And the jokes, they write themselves.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because of the time slot we're in, but they're great.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think that's the bigger thing now. And the Mike White's been there a while. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. And somebody on the text line said 5 stars fix coaching. No, he's recruited well. He's gotten good transfers in.
I think this is where basketball differs from football.
No, 5 stars fix everything.
Well, listen, Oral Roberts doesn't have 3 stars or 2 stars, and they still won. My point is that
5 stars should fix
it.
Everything.
Should. That's a better case. But here's the thing where the 18-year-old that goes to the NBA can develop their body because they're one 18-year-old with a bunch of other grown men. When you have a bunch of 18-year-olds with going up against a bunch of 24-year-olds, there is a difference, especially when they're being coached better. That's why in the tournament you see the Butlers, you see the Loyolas, you see these other places with kids who are in the program for 4 or 5 years that can hang with the best of the best. Because in this situation where you're playing a lot of games over a short amount of time, fatigue, mental awareness, just knowing how to do it, knowing how to play the game comes in handy. That's what I mean, being with this. And that's where you're coaching. Look at Jim Boeheim. Jim Boeheim hasn't really been doing it at Syracuse at a high level during the regular season. Get him in the tournament or get a Michigan State team in the tournament, they're going to do damage.
Well, and that's the thing about, if we're being honest, I know this isn't popular to say in the middle of March Madness. College basketball's bad.
It is.
It's really
the NBA
bad.
The NBA really made it bad.
Which game was it? Who was Rutgers playing last night? Maryland. Was it Maryland? No. Texas Tech, maybe? No. Arkansas played Texas Tech.
Arkansas played Maryland, yeah.
Yeah, who did Rutgers play? Houston.
Did they beat Houston or Houston?
No, Houston won. Houston's number. That was the ugliest game of basketball I've ever seen in my life. I was flipping back and forth. It was hideous, terrible. Everything that you can use to say suck is what it was. It's just a bad brand of basketball in college basketball right now. It's hard to watch if you don't have a team that you're pulling for. It's not like it used to be. It used to be basketball's better when Kentucky and Duke and all those guys are legit. You can pull for the underdogs all you want to, but when the underdogs are winning basketball games, it's usually ugly basketball. I would prefer to watch good sport. Although the Loyola Chicago team looks pretty legit. But that's all the basketball talk, because we do have somebody on the text line losing their mind. They've been texting all day long about Florida basketball, griping about the coverage of Florida basketball. Seriously, this one guy since what time this morning? 9:40 this morning, 8:40 this morning, has texted on the hour, every hour, griping about this station talking about Florida basketball. All right, 415, we'll get off of it. We want to get some free agent sound?
Yeah. Let's listen to them talk about how much they love. They turned down all 31 teams to come here.
I heard you went in on Friday.
Yeah,
on the Jags.
And I keep finding more and more sound that just makes me more and more. I'm just worried. It's not Friday anymore, so I'm not being petty.
Okay.
I'm just nervous. The shine is, coming off a little bit, but I still have, he can coach it up. There's always that.
Well, it's the Sports Den brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Make sure you get to ABC. What time is tip-off for Florida State?
7:45.
You got plenty of time. Get to ABC. Get you some good stuff for the Florida State Colorado. Is that right?
Yep.
Colorado game. Hopefully it fares well better for you FSU fans than it did for Florida last night. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into Carlos Hyde, Philip Dorsett, Rudy Ford, Marvin Jones Jr., Jamal Agnew. We'll get into what they had to say. We'll do that coming up next.
Drink a beer, sing a song, make a friend. Can't we all get along?
Drink a beer, sing a song, can't we all get along?
This is great!
Exactly.
1010XL.
Claude Nolan Cadillac respects your time and strives to make every visit a pleasure. Customers come back because you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. Don't forget about their service department with 10 master technicians. The only Cadillac dealership in the area with a body shop and can fix any make or model. Claude Nolan Cadillac, Jacksonville's Cadillac dealer for 116 years. Near the town center off JTB on Southside Boulevard and Gate Parkway. Begin your lasting relationship at Claude Nolan Cadillac.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, se-ortho.com. That's where you need to go. If something is bothering you, maybe your foot or your ankle or your back, maybe your shoulder or knee, you need to go to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Stop limping around. Stop complaining about the pain. Go in there and get it fixed. I did it. You should do it as well. If you need physical therapy, that's the place you go right there, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. There's locations all over town, so there's going to be one near you. The best of the best doctors around. That's Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, se-ortho.com.
Hacker here. Now that it's termite season, you're probably seeing swarmers, but it's the subterranean termites that do all the damage, and you may not even see them. Protect your investment and have Peninsula Pest Control treat your home before termites get inside. Call us at 389-3491 or go online to crittergetter.com to schedule a free inspection. Be sure to ask about the $100 termite discount. Remember, Peninsula is your critter getter.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I used to hate going to the dentist. My teeth hurt. I never enjoyed the experience. Then I tried sedation, light sedation for my cleanings, which I do several times a year. Deep sedation for root canals, cavities. Now the anxiety is gone. My teeth feel great. So don't be nervous. Don't be afraid. Instead, look at Carlson Dental. Just go to carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dentist needs.
For more than 100 years, JEA has proudly served Northeast Florida and supported the causes that matter to our community, like partnering with area schools to teach kids about electric safety and conservation, volunteering in our neighborhoods to build homes and distribute food and supplies to those in need, and offering special programs to companies that move or expand here to keep our local economy thriving. Because we're committed to this community we all call home. Explore our efforts at domorewithjea.com. JEA, building community.
Hey, it's Allie McDeal of the Best Bet Poker Show. Tune in Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, or watch live on Twitch. We chat about everything trending in the world of poker, give tips, and discuss poker strategy. Check us out this Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been around since 1985. Jax has trusted John's Auto, whether you need routine maintenance or an engine overhaul. John's Auto, they can do it all. We service all makes and models of cars and trucks and even work on diesels. I've been visiting them since I returned to Jacksonville in 2006. Check them out today. John's Auto on Arlington Road, 904-743-3857.
The fastest growing air conditioning company in town is now hiring AC installers and AC service technicians. Dick in here, and Bueller Air is hiring right now. If you or someone you know is looking for a new career with a wonderful company, apply now. Top of the industry pay, full benefits. I'm talking real opportunity to grow from within because they are growing like crazy. Call them now. They're ready to set up your confidential interview. Now hiring AC installers and technicians. Join the best at Bueller Air and stay cooler with Bueller.
Bueller Air, stay cooler with Bueller.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Hope Haven believes in children and youth with special needs and abilities and has developed programs to help ensure their success. Find out more about their employment services and internship program at hope-haven.org.
Big Brothers Big Sisters nurtures local kids and strengthens communities. You build positive relationships that have a lasting effect on young people. Get involved at bbbs.org.
Habitat for Humanity helps families build and improve their homes. If you want to build a better Jacksonville, visit habitat.org.
Join Jacksonville's City Rescue Mission to help transform the lives of the homeless and needy. crmjax.org.
First Coast YMCA helps develop Jacksonville's youth. You can help our children find a better future at fcymca.org.
If you're involved with a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, visit our website to find out how at 1010XL.com.
Beaches Jewelry and Pawn is in need of guitars, surfboards, jewelry, tools, and even firearms. Unexpected bills or just want some cash? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn pays top dollar. Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach, locally owned for 26 years.
This Wednesday, the most talked about professional wrestling show on the planet returns live to Daly's Place.
You have got to be kidding me.
This is your chance to be part of a live nationally televised show on TNT.
Oh my God!
High-flying superstar Matt Sydal will battle the champion Kenny Omega.
If you beat him, you get a shot at the title.
In an AEW World Championship Eliminator match. In a trios match, the Pinnacles FTR and Shawn Spears will battle the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin of Top Flight.
And as the Pinnacle, we will take what we want when we want.
Will the red-hot Ty Conti get her revenge against Nyla Rose for knocking her out of the Women's Eliminator Tournament?
Oh, Death Valley Driver!
Plus, will John Silver be able to bring back the TNT Championship to the Dark Order? Or will Darby Allin continue to rule the ring? Don't miss AEW Dynamite live at Daily Place. Tickets start at only $20 and are available at AEWTIS.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. 1010XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
It is the Sports Den brought to you by thehumidor.com. Make sure you get there for all of your cigar needs. Every time I try to do something about thehumidor.com, you
I just finally read 415. Like,
oh, I know. It's like it's a mission today.
He said they got beat by overrated Baca. I'm sorry, man.
I don't understand.
It's popcorn. The old man.
Right.
I would. It's about as PG a joke that I can read.
Oh,
right
he's
now.
just replacing the Oral Roberts.
Yeah, just with some. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Instead of
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
Make sure you get to thehumidor.com. You get 20% off your entire order of cigars if you type in sportsden, all lowercase, all one word, when you check out. That is thehumidor.com. Why are you hating on the Jags? Catch me up.
Listen,
I just got a text when I was in Indy talking about James hating on the Jags.
It's not hating on the Jags. What it is it goes back to what we talked about the first day of free agency, and then just going back and forth. And I was okay, and I was content with it until I got some talked to a couple people that would know. And they're like, yeah, we really did try to go after one. The one that was major would be Jonnu Smith. We offered 42. New England offered 50. And I'm sitting here thinking like, we missed on free agents because we got outbid when we have this much money. So that was the first thing. Then I was like, you know what though? Stuff happens. Then I listened to what Urban had to say.
Okay.
And it really just showed me that he needs some people to slap him around and say, bro, you're in the NFL now. This is not college. You don't get to have guys come over and take in-home visits and you give them banana pudding and you talk to them about stuff. You have a director of player personnel that's supposed to know if these guys have football IQ, know what they can do. And basically there's positions for this. Recruiting happens year round for free agents. Like you should not need to do this scouting. You should not need to do this. And you're behind. And I had a feeling it was going to happen, but it startled me because that he doesn't even understand it because well, I don't like it. Who gives a damn if you like it or not? That's the way the NFL is. You can write as many articles, you can complain to as many people as you want to about how you wish it was like college. It's not. This is the pros. All these men care about on the grand scheme of things is money. And even if
let me ask something. But
if who we want,
go back to the first.
If we have 6 people that we want that he has identified that he wants, we should not miss because we got outbid by a certain
$8 million
amount.
is a lot of money.
$8 million in Massachusetts is you could give them $45 million here in Jacksonville, and it's the same damn thing.
Do we need a tight end that bad to pay him $8 more million?
That's what he
So
says.
which one was
Those
it?
are Urban's
Which one
words
was
that we
it?
need to flip that.
Which side was it? Jonnu Smith?
Jonnu Smith, and then I didn't the Henry thing.
He
they
really
just
got
said,
$50 million.
That's what this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
like
don't
the
know.
whole
I mean, I don't
meeting,
know enough about
the
these
whole
guys.
but it's just like I need to meet them. You don't get that time. Like you just don't get that. Like. Or you get this, and like the text line for he needs to meet them to determine if they're alphas. You met Carlos Hyde, Philip Dorsett, Rudy Ford, Jamal Agnew, and those are your alphas.
Yeah,
you can. It's no. My point is, it's not even a mad thing because he still has to play the games. These things may match, but if for what we have right now, you can't tell me people woke up and wanted to have a parade over these guys.
I don't think I have. I'm not saying this is what you said, but I don't think I have any issue with them having a number on a guy and saying we're not going over that. Like that's cool. Like I don't have any issues. Like if you had him as we want him at 42 mil and he went over 42 mil, okay, walk away from it. That's fine. But because it's not like we got a championship window open here. Like it's not like that guy's not bringing us a championship.
Right now, it's just talking about the news of the day. But we may go in a couple weeks and we may make some trades.
No, I got you. But where I'm with you though on this is I can think of other college coaches who have failed because they haven't adapted. Steve Spurrier's the first one that comes to mind.
And that's the part. It's more of those than it is guys who have come in and been successful. And a lot of the college coaches who have come in and been successful had a real NFL experience. Like they coached in the NFL for real, so they knew. But like I said, it's just based upon what the news of the day was. This is like
no, you're not wrong. No, you're definitely. I don't disagree with anything you said with that. I just what I'm saying is if I'm ranking my concerns, not being able to adapt quickly to an NFL game would be much higher than saying, "Oh, we're not going to give him 50. We're only going to give him 42." Because you can explain that away.
Right. That's just my take right now. Is that I don't know how well he is actually adapting right now. But again, that's just off of the limited information. And I know a lot of people are like, "Don't spaz out. It's early." But like what do you want to listen to? Like I know you don't want me to give you a break because if I give you a breakdown of how I feel about Carlos Hyde, it's gonna be bad. If I give you a breakdown about Philip Dorsett, it's not gonna be positive.
I saw somebody put it on social media about grading the free agent thing.
Yeah.
What would you grade him?
I give him a C.
C?
Yeah. It's not an F. It's not a D.
See, I was going to go a little higher. And hear me out when I say this. I'm not trying to change your mind, but I'm going to tell you why I would give them a B. They turned over a large portion of the roster. Like when you look at the roster and the numbers they signed, and the first night I was with you. I'm like, what are we doing? But when you dig a little deeper and you realize that through free agency, they let go, kept, or signed somebody new over 20% of the roster already.
I thought about B-, and a lot of the things that are here on in some of this sound it has nothing to do with Urban. It has everything to do with looking at Marvin Jones. His last 2 years haven't been stellar, but when Bevel was his OC, was when he was over 1,000 yards. So thinking like, okay, maybe there's something to that that could make that a little bit better. The defense is a little bit better.
Faster. Does it improve a team faster to go and splash two big guys? Right on it. And we're talking about a team that was 1-15. So does it improve a team faster to do that, or does it improve a team faster to turn over 25%? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Before I answer that, I guess my problem is I know what. Yes, we are a 1-15 team, but at a certain point, we were competing to be a 1-15 team, not just a 1-15.
No, I got you.
So like, I don't really know exactly. I think, for example, if Gardner starts the entire year and we're not worried about Trevor Lawrence and we still bring in Herb or whatever, would this be a 6-win team like it was it the year before? I believe
maybe 4 or 5, but yeah.
I mean, 5. It wouldn't be that far off if they didn't. Like,
had they
deliberately
not, what you're
moves.
saying, had they not signed a kicker that had never kicked,
right?
Like stuff like that, that was obvious what they were doing.
Yeah, so like, I'm thinking of those things and saying, okay, Urban didn't come in to win 2 games. Urban came in to, I would say it's going to be 6 or 7 if I'm more than likely, but competing to possibly win. When you look at the division is in disarray. You got one guy who's on Cosby, is doing Cosby numbers right now when it comes to women coming out the woodwork. So he's, even if he was trying to get traded, probably nothing's happening with Deshaun Watson right now. Right. So that's one quarterback situation you're better than. Indy got Carson. We don't know what Carson Wentz is. And right now, and a guy who hands it off to Derrick Henry. So you really have a chance to come in and make a big move. So when I'm looking at all of those things combined to what he said before free agency, what he was trying to do. So the thing that most people skipped over, and maybe they just kind of, when you're listening to radio, you're getting in and out of your car. It's the same thing I said. I'm going to do the same thing for Urban Meyer that I did with Mike Norvell. And Jaguar fans are probably going to pick and choose what they listen to. My standard for Mike Norvell was held based upon what Mike Norvell told me in an interview. And everything I held him to was in that interview. And Florida State fans, that's unrealistic. Well, then he shouldn't have said it. He could have said whatever. We could have explained it. I would have been like, okay, I see the vision. We got to build this roster up, blah, blah, blah. We played a clip of what Urban Meyer said he was trying to accomplish in free agency here in Jacksonville. And it sounded just like, again, facilities, top nutrition, these things. All things that will wow a 17 to 18-year-old. It was a college pitch. And then we played what he said after it. And it's basically, people aren't wowed by me. And they don't, obviously some of these things they don't care about, because so it took somebody to really talk to me as the former player. And you can look at, you see this every day. What do 90% of those guys that come into there that train what you have already, that they feel comfortable with? A nutritionist, a trainer,
a plan.
They already have a plan, and their plan is laid out by an agent because the agent has made them feel that the franchise, and which is true through years of data, the franchise cares about the franchise, not the individual player. It's my job to care about the individual player. So all of these things that you're saying you care about are what are a college mindset. These guys care about the bread. And I talked about Jerry Maguire. It's a great movie. Everybody loves it. One scene, most iconic. That scene got a guy an Oscar that probably didn't deserve it. Show me the money. And you have it. It's like, what's the point of, again, if you don't believe John New's 50, I get it. I'm with you. I don't think he's 50 million either, but I also think if you would have went 45 out the gate, you would have got him. That's split in the middle. But if you got 6 cats and you don't get 6 of them,
that's
because of
alarming.
money, that's just.
Well, you may say it's money, but was it really?
I mean, whatever.
All 6? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for whatever reason. Like, I'm just saying, like,
the fact that you had 6 that you didn't get.
And it could have been 2.
Alarming.
It could have been 1. The one thing we will never know is like it's the head coach search in college.
Yeah, where'd you get the 6 from? Was that just intel you got?
Yes, it's
okay.
intel.
Okay.
And I mean, again, 4, 2, whatever.
I don't know if it came out.
Bottom line is, what I can say is this, without a shadow of a doubt. They didn't go 5 for 5 with Carlos Hyde, Philip Dorsett, Rudy Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like, no offense to those guys. I hope they come here and do well. But I'm just saying, we know if that's who we were going for, and we batted 100% on the guys that we went for, then that should be a red flag for you as well.
I think Urban is one of those guys that you are going to have to really hold out judgment, good or bad, for like a 3-year window, because guys like him that are geniuses in their field, which I think everybody would say he is, at times look like idiots, right? And so it's like, it's one of those things where we saw it with Chip Kelly. Everybody thought Chip Kelly was going to be the greatest NFL coach ever because of his first year. Well, it turned out it didn't work long term, right? So I think regardless of the way this year turns out, 3 years from now, what does it look like?
You can't go firing a coach. We can't do a malarkey here. So what we do have to give them time.
No. What I'm saying is they could go 10-6 this year.
And then you're saying, like, don't
jump the gun yet. Like, see what next free agency they could go 5-11, and you just.
I'll say the same thing. Next free agency, my expectations will be even higher if we come off of a 10-6 year.
Agree,
because you got money now. You're 1 or 2 pieces away.
Now you are window shopping. Yes, no, absolutely, I completely agree. When I looked at it, I was on the plane headed to Indy, and I was looking at I was on Pro Football Talk, and there was I don't know, it was on something, and it was talking about it had this graph of teams that have turned over their roster the most thus far. The Jags were 1 or 2. And when you look at it in that way, it's like, okay, if we're going to talk about how bad a team was, the easiest thing to do is to replace the most of them. We've been on here talking about you got to start from scratch.
He's building the depth. And now the other benefit that we have, and we'll talk about that benefit at the end of April, is that you got a chance to get 4 starters in your first 4 picks.
You should.
So I'm saying, when we go through that,
you should come out this draft with 6 starters.
It could completely change my mind. It could be like, yo, man, they hit a home run with that draft.
Right.
You add that home run with some of this depth that they got in these positions,
or you all of a sudden have a trade that brings a tight end.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm seriously excited to see what they can do. But it's the situation. Again, I didn't trash the season. I trashed the moves.
No, that makes sense.
The moves, until presented with different information, the moves they're just okay. But I can see, like, I can give it a B-. I could be talked to a B- based upon more of the relationships that these guys have with the coaches.
Well, let's get into that. Via Jaguars.com, we've got some sound from, was this today, RJ?
Yeah, this was all today.
RJ, why do people hate you so much?
I don't know at this point. I mean, I could care less.
I mean, geez. It's like people text like, we're stuck with RJ this week. I feel like you and I kind of set a bad standard here, James. We don't really dislike RJ. We like RJ.
I think I like the quirkiness of RJ.
Yes. I need to get off my man's. I mean, he's working. They got him working. You did the drill this morning, right?
I did do the drill this morning.
What's the better show, ours or the drill?
SportsDen.
Okay. Make sure you tell them that tomorrow.
Well, I won't be with them tomorrow.
Make sure you tell them that next time you're in.
I don't know when that'll be, but I'll make sure to relay the message.
Now that you said that, you're never going to go back there. Carlos Hyde, some sound from Jaguars.com today. Talks about was a no-brainer to play for Urban.
It was a no-brainer for me. Once I saw Coach Meyer become the head coach here, had good years with Coach Meyer at Ohio State. And honestly, I've been waiting for Coach Meyer to become a head coach in the NFL. You know, he's finally here. So it was a no-brainer for me to come to Jacksonville once I saw he became a head coach here.
Let's go right to clip 2 on what sold him on Jacksonville.
What I look at, is winning. And, that's what we're all here for, is to win. That's what, persuaded me to come, back to Jacksonville, because I know Coach Meyer, he wants to win, and he's going to figure out how to win.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Nope.
Good.
To your point, if this would have been, who's the biggest free agent that signed? Anybody?
Marvin?
No, in the NFL. Not here.
Oh.
No.
Anyway, he's not even the
if
biggest on the
you were one of the top 5 free agents and your first thing was, it was a no-brainer to come to Jacksonville, carrying me a little more weight than Carlos Hyde, right? Like Carlos Hyde had.
I'm gonna be like this: Carlos Hyde and the G Hyde guy, their press conferences are like you would really believe like those are Jersey guys, like guys who like, hey, I want his autograph when he comes off the field. Like he be his, like kids are going to be filling the stadium with those jerseys.
Right.
Now, G Hyde, I believe, has more time as to become the guy. Carlos Hyde's on the downswing of his career. Like it's a very confident interview, and I can't knock that.
I am interested in clip 4 about his issues the first time in Jacksonville.
Back in 2018 was just growth. I was actually going through a lot through that year. Just family, personal issues also. So it was a lot of growth in that year.
So that's why you didn't want to come back in the game?
Yeah, that's a weird answer. I mean, it's not like it was 2013. It's not like
it's pretty like, that wasn't long ago.
No, not at all. All right, so Carlos Hyde told us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We agree?
Yeah.
You want to go to Philip Dorsett? Do y'all care about an update on his injured foot? I do not.
No. But not again, just knowing that. Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, let's just go to.
Care about his role in the offense?
No.
You care about his speed was a big factor for Urban?
Not with a broke foot.
Oh, let's play that one.
I know he wanted speed. A lot of teams want speed. They need speed, and I can run. So that was definitely one of the big factors that made me come here, but not the only thing. I would say it's probably up there.
Wasn't Connolly a speed guy? Wasn't Dante Bay Meadows?
I'm interested.
I don't care
what
about
does he
speed.
have to say about the Jags receiver group, actually?
Well, I don't think it's uncertainty about Urban Meyer. I just don't know how much the
that's not
Jaguars
Philip
are looking
Dorsett.
for a quote-unquote splash signing. When you figure 2021 is going to be a...
I know it's not.
That is not Philip Dorsett. If it is,
somebody got it wrong.
It sounds like our guy Kermit out in KC.
Huh. So we're not going to hear Philip Dorsett's.
I guess we're
on the
not.
Receiver group.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Dang it.
Rudy
Ford.
Rudy Huxtable. Nice.
I'm curious. Why did he choose Jacksonville?
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Really, to be honest, just opportunity. Just to be a part of something.
They're the only
big
ones
change.
That gave me
Great. I mean, I feel like just a culture. You know, we want to change the culture around here.
You see why I say that's
just
a
happy to be a
buzzword?
part of something different.
You see why I say it's a word that has absolutely no meaning. He chose. There's not a person in this world that would say they choose Jacksonville because of the culture.
Rudy Ford.
Well, yeah, Rudy. I want to hear.
I mean, when your culture options are to play or not to play.
I want to hear because Rudy was one of our big free agent signings. So this
Rudy was not one.
This
of
is what lets me know right here. This is the type of this is how you change the culture. Is I want to hear how he plans to start on special teams.
Oh, definitely. I definitely plan on that, and anywhere else the team.
That's how I want my big time free agent signees to have that kind of hunger.
I am coming in here, and I am going to be the gunner.
I mean, at least he's going to try to be a star in his role.
I'm not mad at him for being on that. Like, we need special teams guys. I'm with that. Like, baby, yeah. Come in. You tell me.
Does it interest you how he compares joining the Jags to signing with Auburn out of high school? That's kind of
yes.
Yeah, let's play it. It's long, so we may stop it, but let's play it.
Kind of remind me back when I was coming out of high school, picking the college I wanted to go to, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of different SEC schools, but same kind of that same reason. Auburn, we had that real down year before, right before I was coming out, and then just Coach Malzahn's first year, another change, and just excitement, and wound up going to the national championship that year.
Okay.
So I mean,
all right. Did you just do the same thing I did, which go to 247 to see his high school ranking?
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah.
Did you see it was on the front page of 247 Sports?
No.
When you go to 247sports.com, 6 points guy.
Humble brag.
Yep. Holden Gerner.
Ah.
I mean, I'm going to trust that Rudy Ford was a big recruit coming out of high school. I can't really find anything on that. I don't even know what year. You'd have to know what year he came out.
He was a 17 draft. That doesn't help.
I don't care. You know what, Rudy, you do you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I'm glad that you had a bunch of options and you picked Jacksonville. That's good for you, Rudy. Marvin Jones Jr.
Yeah,
Marvin Jones Jr. His success with Darrell Bevel.
I'm excited.
Camaraderie that we have with each other, just the leader that he is.
Marvin Jones Jr. is a very well-spoken man. Did you hear that? Like the camaraderie, like start that back.
Nobody's used the word like that. Camaraderie is definitely a $12 word.
Like that, the way he said it, like he was confident in it. So play that again.
Camaraderie that we have with each other, just the leader that he is. Obviously his offense speaks for itself. With the success that he's had since he's been in the league.
That man has seen Smokey Robin, whatever it is. Who is it? Not Smokey Robin. Lionel Richie. He's seen Lionel Richie.
Oh, that's right. He's the singer.
Yeah, he's seen Randy Jackson, whatever that dude's name. He's not afraid of anybody. He's sung poorly in front of millions. You think he's afraid of the Jags beat? Get out of here, man.
Let's see. I'm curious about the location of Jacksonville was number 1 on his list.
Obviously, the location as well. My family, we are in the Miami area as well. So I just got on a flight. It's 50-minute. A 50-minute flight is 4-hour drive. As a family, this was kind of number 1.
I can tell you for a fact that's not a 4-hour drive unless you're going 90. But
if you're like
close enough.
Fort Lauderdale, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But if your family's in Miami,
said
then why wouldn't
Miami.
Miami be number one on your list?
Nah, he didn't say he liked his family. He just said he wants to be close to him. It's different.
So this is the perfect
Like,
distance.
this is it's close enough to see mama if you need her.
Right.
And it's far enough to like
she can't just stop.
Yeah, have your drunk uncle not just stop by.
What about loves the energy of this culture?
It's a new kind of, the regime, obviously, and it's a new energy, and you could come here and you could feel that from all the coaches. So I'm just excited to be here.
Urban Meyer is
I
a
think
culture changer.
He said coaches.
No, he said culture.
Where did he say culture at? In the beginning or at the end?
It's a new kind of, the regime, obviously, and it's a new energy, and you could come here and you could feel that from all the coaches. So I'm just excited to be here.
I think he didn't say culture. I think it was culture.
No, but I'm pretty sure they asked him about,
that was a question.
Yeah,
okay.
that was a question.
I will say this though, some inside information. We do make fun of the culture talk. We do make fun of all that. I will say that there are people who are staying in town to work out that haven't in the past. And it's not because it's a new, they feel like they are getting the most out of their time here. They didn't have plans on staying here, players.
Mm-hmm.
They had plans on coming in, seeing what it's about, introducing themselves, getting back to their offseason plan. They've chosen, based off of a week or 2 weeks, that no, this is a better plan for me to stay here. They like what's being done in the offseason down at the Jaguars facility. And I'm saying that with certainty. I've talked to several of these guys who was like, whoa, you're still here? Like, you're still coming in? And they're like, yeah, man, we're staying. We're staying. So I think there is a little bit to that. Now, I'll go back. Can you maintain that year after year?
I don't think
After it's not new anymore? I don't know.
I also think it's, again, if I'm marginal guy, right? So so we got, you said 20% of the roster's been flipped?
Close. Yeah, a little bit over it.
All right.
Yeah.
So still a significant amount of, very significant, but still a good amount of guys here. Normally, I'd be a journeyman. I look at who they've brought in. Normally, I would look at a guy and be like, I know that name. They paid him that much money. That's hard. I'm looking at these guys and be like, you know what? Nah, I got a chance. What do I need to do to set myself apart? Which, again, could be part of the game plan. And that could make you because better teams win. It's also still, again, I don't know that yet, but I don't know that to be true. I can hope that to be true. But that might be why guys are sticking around.
Darrell Bevel. Not Philip Dorsett. Marvin Jones says Bevel's offense is fun. We didn't play it, but he said it, and he's played with Bevel. Jamal Agnew said he loves the creativity of Bevel's offense.
He's creative. He knows how to get the ball to certain players, and he's not scared to take shots down the field. And you see over Marvin's career, he's been a big play threat wherever he's been, whoever he's played with, and he showcased that these past few years with Bevel.
Been in multiple places.
Bevel's he was at Seattle.
No, I'm saying
11 to 17. Minnesota 06 to 010, and the Lions 19 and 20.
That was Bevel.
Yes, Bevel.
I'm saying Marvin Jones
was just with him in Detroit, right?
Oh, he was with the Bengals. No. Because the quote was, "You've seen Marvin be a big play threat everywhere he's gone."
Oh, gotcha.
I thought he was only in Detroit, but yeah, he was with the Bengals.
My question though is I know Bevel's really highly thought of in the coaching world. I know that. I don't think I know enough. Like I need to go watch some of his offenses. When you start throwing around terms like creative and fun and stuff like that, that kind of gets my attention about the offensive coordinator, though.
I hope that's the case. Every new age offensive mind believes that they have a fun offense that's explosive, unlike wing T guys. But there's only one offense that I can honestly say, but I don't remember watching much Seahawks. I know they had a very explosive, deep threat. The kid from Ole Miss that we DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
KC's the only offense that I watch and I think fun and creative. Maybe New Orleans every now and then, but not really. That's more traditional. Aaron Rodgers is fun to watch. And he has a really big play wide receiver that's fun that he has a good time getting the ball to.
Kyler Murray's fun to watch.
But, like, is that offense really creative?
Right.
Creative is having, when your offensive line blocks for you to give you time, having 4 guys run option routes that they get to make up. And your quarterback has to literally ad-lib. So that's creative and difficult to game plan against.
Right.
So, I mean, but again, I don't really know. Somebody can fill me in. Maybe when I get bored, I'll watch some Seattle film and look at what we missed.
Dom says Darrell Bevell is responsible for the worst play call in Super Bowl history, but at least he got there. I got to put that on Pete Carroll.
That's what Pete Carroll said. Pete Carroll said put it on him. Yeah. I put it on Russell. I'll never forgive him.
We're getting way behind. We got to take a break. We'll come back. Let's get into a little bit more free agent stuff as well as some draft talk before we get to 8 o'clock. We'll do that coming up next.
This March Madness update on 1010XL 92.5 FM is brought to you by J. David Tax Law and Armor Guard Exteriors.
Oregon is off to another Sweet 16 after defeating number 2 seeded Iowa 95-80 today to reach the Sweet 16 for the 4th time in the past 5 NCAA tournaments. A number 1 seed, 2 number 2 seeds, and 2 number 3 seeds have already been eliminated from this tournament. However, Gonzaga at 28-0 faces higher expectations as they try to become the first undefeated champion since Indiana 45 years ago. And the top-seeded Bulldogs defeated number 8 seeded Oklahoma 87-71 today in the second round. They'll be moving on to the Sweet 16. UCLA leading 50-33 in the second half. And you also have Creighton leading 37-24 in the first half. FSU will be on court at 7:45 looking to go to the second round.
This is Hayes Carlyon. Join Matt Hayes and me as we break down all things Trevor Lawrence. It's the Trevor Cast. This week's guest is former NFL Executive of the Year, Randy Mueller. You can find the Trevor Cast on YouTube, 1010XL.com, or wherever you go for your podcasts. Sponsored by our friends at Claude Nolan Cadillac, beginning lasting relationships since 1905.
Hi, Lou here from Espada Agency's Farmers Insurance. Have your homeowners or renters insurance premiums seen an increase? If so, the Espada Agency not only represents farmers insurance, but we also offer other carriers to be able to compare your current program. So stop by the office at 7880 Gate Parkway, directly across the street from IKEA, or call the Espada Agency at 376-7333. 376-7333.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
For windows and doors, make the right choice. Kohler Homes, an award-winning local business with outstanding customer reviews. Kohler Homes doesn't pressure sale, offer those gimmick specials, or advertise that we're factory direct, even though we are. Kohler Homes' reputation is to offer options for multiple manufacturers, not just one. And our goal is to find the best window to fit your needs. With companies disguising private label windows as their own, it's crucial to know who the real manufacturer is. So don't wait. Go to KohlerHomesInc.com. That's KohlerHomesInc.com. Remember, Kohler Homes, the right choice.
Instant Keys specializes in creating replacement automotive keys and keyless entry remotes, even when all the originals are lost or broken. Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including the high-end luxury models like BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, and Infiniti. With Instant Keys, you'll get dealership-level service at a fraction of the cost without the hassles. For honest professional locksmith service, call the best around. Instant Keys, 722-1111.
You hear all the time about Diamonds Direct's prices and selection and warranties. All true, and all good reasons to give us a visit. But what really sets Diamonds Direct apart is something that's hard to put into words. But you will feel it. You'll know it from the minute you walk in. It's our unique culture, our passion, our genuine and absolute desire to totally revolutionize the way you experience jewelry shopping. It's why we do what we do. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 22nd, 1989, after 29 years as commissioner of the NFL, Pete Rozelle officially announced his retirement from his position at 63 years old.
The Truck Accident Law Firm is a national truck crash law firm based right here in Jacksonville, focused on making First Coast roads safer through zealous advocacy for families of those injured or killed by unsafe trucking. The Truck Accident Law Firm focuses exclusively on tractor-trailer, bus, and commercial vehicle crashes. If someone you know is involved in a serious crash with a tractor-trailer or commercial vehicle, contact your local truck crash specialists at truckcrashlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Leon Searcy here for Wingstop. Now, you know I love bone-in wings, but the boneless wings are absolutely mouth-watering too. Right now, you can try the Big Night and Bundle for $16.99. This is too good of a deal to pass up. You get 25 boneless wings, you get any 3 flavors, and any 3 dips. Feed the whole family. Easy ordering on the app or online. For a limited time, try the Big Night and Bundle at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop. 1010XL. 1010XL. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. This is 1010XL.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
When you need an oil change done quickly, I mean like right now fast, look for Famous Quick Lube. 12 locations to get you in and out quickly and save money because, wait, seriously? An oil change starting at just $20 at Famous Quick Lube?
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. 1010XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
If we have time later, we'll get into some mock drafts. I don't know if we'll have time. We went a little long last segment, and we still got 8 o'clock, and we've got Dr. Swanson. So we've got a packed second hour here. But one of the things I wanted to get into, and so we'll use this segment just to quickly do it, James. If I'm the Jets, I don't think I'd draft a quarterback at number 2.
Even the one that runs a 4.41?
Who's that?
Justin.
No.
That was the rumor.
Okay. The rumor from who?
Somebody just put it out on Twitter saying that he was running a 4.41.
Okay. Listen what I'm saying. So they just got done with a free agency where they signed Corey Davis. They signed Keelan Cole. They signed Dan Feeney. Who else? Tyler Croft. They just addressed a lot of needs on the offensive side of the ball in free agency. You could, at number 2, go and get Penei Sewell. Or you could trade back, or you could go get Kyle Pitts, which hang on to that name for just a second because I want to propose something to you. Or you could trade back and get any number of offensive weapons like staples, right?
All right.
And then you find out what Sam Darnold really is by surrounding him. And I think there's so you're going to go get a pretty good quarterback, or do you want to secure your whole team outside of the quarterback position and knowing that you may already have one, right? Because worst case scenario, you don't have one, and then the following year you draft high again. Or let's say you kind of have one in Sam Darnold, you go win 6 or 7 games. Every year now, there's big-time quarterbacks available in free agency, it seems. I think the Jets are in a situation when you put their free agency together, you put what they've got coming up in the draft, that if you take quarterback out of the equation of needing to pick that with number 2, you may find Sam Darnold's not that bad after all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you put more around him. That theory.
480, yes, we will be at Mr. Chubby's this week, Thursday.
Ooh.
Yes.
Sure.
Ponte Vedra location. Everybody come on out, hang out. The second thing, and then we have to take a break. Given what we said about the Jags, what would you think if the Jags drafted Trevor Lawrence and then package some picks to come up and get Kyle Pitts?
That means Kyle Pitts is falling.
Yeah, but how far of a
like
fall would he need to?
Okay. No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying in general. Let's say that you got to get into the top 10, so you have to give up.
I will feel a lot. I feel a certain way about that.
You wouldn't like that. So if you had to give up your
second
first, next year's first, and a third or something like that.
You know what you're saying? You're saying that Kyle Pitts, if we do all that, Kyle Pitts is as generational of talent as Trevor Lawrence. And if you got 2 generational talented players, I don't want to hear nothing over the next decade. Like, we better be beating the hell out of some teams. That's a lot to give up.
You may be saying that, or you could just be saying that that's the best tight end that we're going to see in the draft for a while.
I'm fine with that. Best tight end in the draft that I'm going to see for a while. I'll give up my first pick. I'll swap my first pick, and I'll give you one of these other top 50 picks that I have or something like that.
I mean,
I'll give you another one.
Would you give
of
up
those.
your first round and both your second rounders?
I
don't think you move up far enough, though.
Yeah, I don't know. But Kyle Pitts is...
Because we all agreed that where they swung and missed in free agency was tight end.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Pitts is... I really would like to see Kyle Pitts in the Jags.
You just don't think
I just don't know if he's... there's a lot of other needs and guys that can grow into starters here that can help us win a lot of games that you could go address. Now, if you're that
at 25, but you're saying by the time you give up 25, 33, and I got you.
And potentially, let's say 15. Let's say at worst, we're middle of the pack next year and in the draft. If you're telling me, because that's telling me another thing, that not only is Kyle Pitts generational talent like that, because that's what people would give up for the number 1 overall pick. You're also telling me that you're not really that sure in your own scouting that you can go pick starters. Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Kyle Pitts is better than 4 or 5 starters across the NFL roster. Not just a better tight end, not just a better receiving threat, potentially a better D tackle, a better linebacker, a better safety.
Can I give you another way to look at it?
Yeah.
What if going into next year, you're going to have a ton of cap space again? And,
oh, dear.
And you're no, you are. You're going to, right?
No, you're right.
Going into next year with 60, 70 mil. So what if you're saying we can those? Yeah, we can address those there and get generational is probably a stretch for Kyle Pitts, but probably the best tight end prospect that's come out in some time.
Agreed.
I mean, I just think the thing that scares me is, when you look at what Hunter Henry, Travis Kelce, and you can even throw Jonnu Smith in there, the thing that they all have in common is they weren't selected in the first round, and we're calling them probably some of the best tight ends in the game.
Well, who's calling Hunter Henry that?
Well, I'm just throwing it out there because a lot of people said that they would have
He's one of the better ones that's
right.
available.
So I'm just saying, is it worth trying to trade up to try to get Kyle Pitts when, if you're looking at revisionist history, you're saying, well, you look at Travis Kelce, who we may say is the best tight end in the league right now. He was drafted in the third round.
Of course not.
Florida's pro days next week, right?
Yeah. I get your point. Of course not. But at the same time, not only are you saying that, but you have to find that guy.
I say this right here.
You know what I mean? Then you have to go draft that guy in the 4th round, 5th round, and hang on to him.
If Kyle Pitts comes out and he's 6'6", That's around how tall he is, right? 6'6", 250 to 260 range. And he runs a 4.5. He hasn't ran anything yet. His pro day is not until next week. Those are the things that people are putting out there. Just like Justin Fields ran a 4.41.
I can't hear when y'all say.
No. It's a on the text line. People are saying Kyle Pitts ran a 4.46. That's what we're being told.
Right. Florida's if he does that.
Florida's pro day is next week. Yeah. So if he does that next week, okay. And he probably will. Even if he runs a 4.6, there's 32 plus watches. It can range from 4.4 to 4.8. Depends on who's stopping it and who likes him the most. But if he goes there, you see his measurables and forget the 40 is whatever, because they're about to get rid of that, like we were saying, in a couple years anyway. But if I go in there, I see he jumps 35 plus. He's broad jumping 10 plus. With all of that, that's where those numbers really start. Then you look at the film and you start feeling warm inside, like you drank wine or something. Like you're like, oh man, I gotta make a move on this guy. But I just think that's a lot.
It is.
But I wouldn't be mad at him though. I wouldn't judge him as harshly as I've been judging him right now.
Let me let's take a break. Let's catch up, or try to catch up. We got to come back. We can hit a quick 8 o'clock, and then we'll get Dr. Swanson in as well. I know my 8 o'clock. I don't know if you guys know yours.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know mine. So we'll get into that, and then I'll also get to some text line stuff after Dr. Swanson. We'll do that coming up next.
1010XL takes you behind the microphone.
Gas leak?
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
The only gas leak is the one coming out of your mouth right now.
The Drill.
Okay, are you done now? Huh?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Don't you just love the smell of flowers in the springtime? Well, I do love that new car smell. Speaking of new cars, did you hear the news? This month, Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet will be giving away a brand new car. A brand new car? That's right. Just come register in person and you can be wowed with a brand new vehicle. Wow, that will put a spring in your step. It sure will, but you better hurry. The contest ends March 31st. For more information, visit beavertoyota.com or beaverchevrolet.com. And remember, we're here to wow you.
I'm John Haney, owner of Clearwater Irrigation. Can you believe the average homeowner spends over 5 hours a week of their valuable time pulling hoses? Then there are those who own a sprinkler system that makes no sense at all. It sprays here and there, but nowhere where you need it. Call us at Clearwater Irrigation and we'll design a system that makes sense to you.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Former NFL quarterback David Garrard had surgery on my left knee. Dr. Murphy has done both of them, and so he's really helped me get back to my ability to get out, move around, play with the kids, and still feel like I'm a former NFL quarterback. Started to get a little older, and things stopped working like they should, and Dr. Murphy and Southeast Orthopedic truly come in and save the day.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, Maryland style crab house, right here in Jacksonville. They're up. The guidelines remain the same. All right, distances between tables, all employees masked and gloved. Tableware and chairs sanitized after every use. Now, curbside pickup available. Open each and every day except for Monday, 4:30 through 9. For the best, just go to the bluecrabcrabhouse.com, located on Julington Creek Road.
Like working outdoors and want better pay and benefits? Superior Fence and Rail is seeking full-time fence installers with pay ranging from $16 to $25 an hour and more with commercial experience. Superior Fence and Rail will train you to work with their professional team and provide you with all the tools you need to be a top-notch installer. Get off the fence. Call Superior Fence and Rail today and start your career.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. There's never been a better time than now to create a backyard oasis for you and your family, and Stanley Pools can do it all. Stanley Pools put the pool in my backyard, and we've since added travertine pavers, and my backyard really is an oasis. I love it. If you've been thinking about a pool to escape the Florida heat, call Stanley Pools at 269-7277. There's nothing better than feeling like you're on vacation in your own backyard. Stanley Pools, 269-7277.
It's the light at the end of the tunnel LASIK special. This is Joe C. for Dr. Snipper in the Jacksonville Eye Center. Dr. Snipper can't take your mask off, but he can take your glasses off. And boy, now is the time. All 1010XL listeners, listen, 30% off LASIK simply by mentioning my name, Joe C. All you got to do is give him a call, 355-5555. Call Dr. Snipper today and save 30% off LASIK. Dr. Snipper can deliver. Call 355-5555 for the Jacksonville Eye Center.
Hacker here. Now that it's termite season, you're probably seeing swarmers, but it's the subterranean termites that do all of the damage, and you may not even see them. Protect your investment and have Peninsula Pest Control treat your home before termites get inside. Call us at 389-3491 or go online to crittergetter.com to schedule a free inspection. Be sure to ask about the $100 termite discount. Remember, Peninsula is your critter getter.
This 1010XL March moment is brought to you by the urological specialists of McKeever Clinic.
One last try for the Bruins of UCLA to get into the Sweet 16. Knocked out last year in the first round by Tulsa. They don't want to lose this one. Edney going the distance.
March moments on 1010XL are brought to you by McKeever Clinic, innovators in urological care since 1921.
In 1921, U.S. Marine Corps surgeon Dr. Robert McKeever established the first urologic practice in Florida, the McKeever Clinic. I'm Dr. West. 100 years later, we continue to carry on his life's work in providing complete urologic care in Jacksonville. We have 13 board-certified urologists with many areas of expertise to provide the highest level of care for both men and women. Visit McKeeverClinic.com to learn more about how we can help. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urologic care since 1921.
Golf has never been more popular, and if you'd like to learn this safe and fun game or just get the rust off, call the PGA staff at Hidden Hills Golf Club, and we'll help you get in the swing of things. 620-0910.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
You mad, bro?
1010XL 92.5 FM. Join us in the sports den. Call or text 641-1010.
Open up your heart and let that hang out.
You gotta let it breathe. Each and every day, we bring you 8 o'clock because there are things that make you angry every day. And I don't really have many of those today, but we're running behind today, so gotta be quick.
Real quick question. Where did Arlandis Jacob go? Where did he land up? Also known as AJ Boye.
Oh, I'm gonna say I don't know who Arlandis is.
Yes, Arlandis Jacob is AJ.
Oh, okay.
AJ Boye. Did he sign anywhere?
Hopefully not.
I don't think he did. The only reason why I'm thinking about that, and this is terrible, is I get on Pro Football Talk and I see Sammy Watkins to visit the Colts. And it instantly makes me think of AJ Boye.
I thought you were going to say you got on Pro Football Talk, or is that Pro Football Focus, that said that tried to lie to us and make us believe that AJ Boye was better than Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, that's Pro Football Focus.
Okay.
Like, I associate Sammy Watkins with AJ Boye. And if I'm Sammy Watkins, I'm going anywhere where I get to play AJ Boye twice a year.
Oh, it's going to be 2 career games.
Yes. Yes. 8 o'clock. My 8 o'clock is a little bit of Devontae Smith.
Oh,
right now.
Okay.
I'm normally not like this. I normally respect anybody's decision on what they do and don't do during their pro day. Devontae Smith came out and said he's not doing anything.
Chilling. He's on vacay.
And that saved the drama. I weigh 170 pounds.
I like that. So now you're not going to be surprised when he's a little light.
My question to Devontae Smith is, what have you been doing?
Vibing.
Like, since the national championship game, what have you been doing?
Rehabbing, chilling.
I mean, he had an amazing year. And I think most people have surrendered to the fact that Jamar Chase is going to be the top receiver taken, as he should be. But I don't know, this one here, like, Devontae Smith isn't a cat that shouldn't be doing anything. Devontae Smith I wouldn't run a 40. if I were him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do the testing, but I'd flex on my routes, especially if I've got Mac Jones throwing to me, like for my pro day. You know what I mean? Like there's already that connection with Mac. Why not?
I guess he's saying, what more do you want from me, Mac? I've already said you're the best quarterback I've ever played with.
And it's not about Mac. It's about him.
I mean, he's just figuring like there's nothing that he's going to do to make him improve his stock. The only thing it could do is hurt him. I think it's silly to not. I can see doing this at the combine.
I agree. Yeah.
But I think it's silly to not do it at your own pro day. Like
Yeah.
you have to do something. Like
I think this does hurt him.
I put it like this: Trevor Lawrence should be the one person that be able to say, "There's nothing more that I can show you," and even he did a pro day.
Maybe Penei Sewell.
Yeah, Penei Sewell. You're right.
Probably could say the same thing. Yeah. But if you're,
and even though like a lot of those guys, like it's maybe some of the D line, some of the top D linemen, like what do you want me like?
Yeah, what are you really doing?
I got 16 sacks. That's
right.
Go watch six. Let's watch film of that together and me tell you what's going through my mind. What are you going to see in these bag drills that are going to change your mind about?
Like I just
wide receiver running routes.
Yeah, with a familiar guy throwing to you on your home turf after you've had 3 months to prep for it. Again, I can't believe this come out of my mouth because I normally am not this guy, but that red flag immediately. When you come out and say, look, I'm only 170, or he didn't say it that way, but I weigh 170. I'm not doing anything at my pro day. My first question is why? Like, why? What do you, it's not, I don't think, well, he's shown us everything. I think, why are you not doing this? Like, this is like the best athlete in school saying, I don't want to play at recess, basically. You know what I mean? You're in your comfort zone. You absolutely should be doing this.
It's like, I'm thinking of a Biggie lyric right now.
Oh, I like that.
When he's like he's giving the descriptions of who he is. Like to the girl, it's like heartthrob never, black and ugly as ever. However, I say Coochie down to the socks. Rings and watches filled with rocks. Like he's like, I'm skinny. Or actually Humpty Dance. Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me, I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy. That's what he's telling the execs. I'm skinny, but it's not. But you go watch this film.
But he once got busy in the Burger King bathroom.
He might have. They get down like that in Alabama.
Wasn't that
that was in it?
Yeah. And Dom says hard disagree. He can do whatever he wants. He won't go any higher. He could go lower. I mean, if now all of a sudden I was stuck between, it's not stuck between one receiver or the other. It could be I could be stuck between a position group. I'm thinking about this D lineman, or I'm thinking about Devontae Smith, or I'm thinking about, and I'm making this up, this corner. Right. And now all of a sudden these other two guys flexed on me 2 weeks ago or a month ago, March 31st. And Devontae, I didn't get to see. Everybody talks about wanting to see guys in person. Either that's a thing or it's not a thing.
It's excellent. I just talked about he wants to see if Urban just got to see. Like, what if Urban wanted to draft him? Right. And now he can't see him.
Right. I guess we have to say, is that true or not that you have to see somebody in person? Because if it's true.
It's some of it's BS, some of it's good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the reality of the situation is he can't – didn't he get hurt? And
he did.
So he can't rest on that.
And I was going to ask did he say that when he said why he's not doing this?
I just saw the way I'm 170.
Yeah. I was going to ask Doc about I don't remember what his injury was. And anytime you bring this up, like Alabama fans get triggered. Oh, he dominated. He did this. He did that. Yo, nobody's taking that away from you.
What happens is Alabama fans have so much good going their way. They have to find something because they want to participate in the trolling, but like a lot of times it's like, what do they do? Like,
it was a finger injury. I mean, come on. It's a finger. You got 9 more.
I mean, when you look at guys, what was the guy, Torrey Holt?
Oh gosh.
The offensive lineman that's awful on the former lineman that's awful on ESPN college games.
Google Torrey Holt's hands.
Who's
the finger?
I'm trying to think. It's not Booger. Is it Booger?
It is Booger.
Yeah,
with the
Booger's
nasty
hands. Like,
yeah.
you know, try telling those guys I can't perform because my hand hurts.
Right. Let's take a break. Let's get Doc. I want to ask him about finger dislocation. Should it still be an issue 3 months later? Get to him about with LeBron as well, because I know RJ has LeBron questions. LeBron's still repping the Laker gear tonight, though.
Yes.
I like it. Dr. Chris Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic coming up next.
We live for this.
That is caught for the touchdown.
We live for Jaguars football.
And the Jags strike first.
1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Investing your money can be confusing. In Jacksonville, Lou Bodie of Capital Financial Strategies is an investment specialist and senior financial advisor for over 20 years. His practice is centered on financial planning and education for his clients, including strategies on investments and retirement planning. Contact Lou Bodie today, 904-626-7995. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Security and Financial Services, Incorporated. Member, FINRA/SIPC 3396725, Tofu 0121.
Engagement ring shopping is enough of a challenge for your average guy, but try doing it while on a ship deployed hundreds of miles away.
My name's Andrew. I'm a Chief Petty Officer of the United States Navy, and I work in Mayport, Florida.
Andrew wanted to propose to his girlfriend when he returned, so he reached out to Diamonds Direct via email.
They had really great reviews while looking online, so I shot him an email telling him my story, that I was gone out at sea, wouldn't be back for 6 months. I gave her kind of my price range, and she was able to send me pictures and information about many different rings, and then I made my choice and picked it out.
Andrew made arrangements for a friend to bring him the ring as soon as his ship docked, and the proposal turned out to be a huge event.
And then the moment I walked off the brow onto the pier, my girlfriend was standing there, which is when I dropped to a knee and proposed to her. It was great. Hundreds of people there on the pier, and we were actually featured on the news.
Diamonds Direct.
They're extremely military friendly. If you're in the Navy and like me looking for an engagement ring, Diamonds Direct is an excellent place to go. They're going to take care of you.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Picking here, there are some great reasons to play in this year's Beaches Habitat for Humanity Builders Classic Golf Tournament, presented by Larry and Nancy Wong at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club May 3rd. How about a chance to shoot for $1 million? Hole-in-one or a GMC Canyon from Nimnik Buick GMC. A 3-year lease on a Fields Automotive Land Rover Defender, and a Pebble Beach golf trip for 2. Learn more about sponsorships and registration at beacheshabitat.org/Builders Classic.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
The reload has begun, and the time for talk is over.
When you grab a seat in this beautiful stadium, you're going to see a team play really fast. I want a team that plays fearless.
Visit Jaguars.com to renew your season tickets and join head coach Urban Meyer for a new era of Jaguars football. Already a season ticket member? Renew your tickets by April 9th and guarantee your seat selection. We'll see you at the bank.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 22nd, 1989, after 29 years as commissioner of the NFL, Pete Rozelle officially announced his retirement from his position at 63 years old.
Thinking about what your child's future holds? Get with the plan that gives them the most choices. 70% of parents believe that college provides their child the best foundation for future success. And a Florida 529 prepaid plan ensures they have options. It can be used at universities, colleges, trade or technical schools, public or private, in-state or out. Plus, it works great alongside scholarships. It's like prepaying their path to success. Open enrollment is now. Enroll for free at myfloridaprepaid.com through February 28th.
Signed on the line incorporated DBA True Mortgage is a fair housing lender. NMLS 1626699.
Mortgage interest rates are at historic lows, but with looming inflation, odds are rates will go up. Now's the time to lock in a low rate before it's too late, and True Mortgage can help. Home values have seen significant growth, and with a cash-out refi, you could save thousands, the lower interest rate, and get the cash you need to pay off high-interest credit cards and loans, do home improvements, or put money away for emergencies. If your current mortgage rate starts with anything other than a 2, don't let this opportunity pass you by. At True Mortgage, we've got low rates, fast turnaround, and the smart options you need. We'll also pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees to save you even more money. Pay off those high-interest debts and save thousands by locking in a lower refi rate today. For a free quote, visit TrueNow.com or talk to one of True's top-rated loan consultants today. Just call 800-340-9750. That's 800-340-9750. 800-340-9750.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist presents Dr. Chris Swanson on the Sports Den. A board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, Dr. Swanson has been assistant team physician for the Cincinnati Bengals and Drexel University men's basketball and is the current team physician for several area high schools. Visit se-ortho.com.
Every Monday night, Dr. Swanson joins us. Well, most Monday nights. Last Monday night with free agency. Didn't happen. But most Monday nights, Dr. Swanson from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist joins us to talk injuries in sports. Doc, how you doing, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're fantastic. We actually have injuries to talk about, to discuss right now. The big one has RJ moping around the studio right now because LeBron James is expected to miss several weeks with what we've talked about many, many times, a high ankle sprain. We can't do that. What was Alabama doing?
The tightrope, Tua tightrope.
We can't do the Tua tightrope and have LeBron back in a week or so?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly can have surgery on it. They were talking about a high ankle sprain. I haven't heard much in the last day or two kind of confirming that. But, you could certainly do an aggressive surgical treatment, put a tightrope in there. Ankle sprains are, so common in basketball that I haven't really heard about them doing it much on NBA guys.
How old is LeBron, RJ?
36.
36. He's played a lot of basketball.
And really hasn't had any significant injuries.
This is the worst one, right?
Well, the groin was probably the worst
groin,
one.
Yeah.
I mean, 36 years old with the minutes that LeBron James has put in over his career. Is this kind of a thing to expect or a forecast of the future for LeBron, Doc?
I don't think so. I mean, even when he saw it, it was kind of a fluke thing. The guy just sort of rolled onto the outside of his leg. This is the kind of thing that can happen at any moment in a basketball game. And then, even he played a possession or two after, which kind of leads you to believe that he's not going to be out for too long.
Why is it different for somebody like LeBron James or a world-class athlete than it is, or is it different than it is for just a normal person as they get older? Like, is it the way they take care of their body? And what I mean by that is, as you get older, things hurt a little more, it takes a little longer to recover. At what point does it not matter how you take care of your body? That's just what the human body does.
Yeah, I mean, I think the old saying, "Father Time's undefeated," it's true for everybody, but certainly the way these guys take care of their bodies now, I think we're seeing people in all sports be able to play at a competitive level a lot longer. Partly due to recovery techniques, partly due to nutrition. I think there's a lot of factors that are allowing these guys to play at elite levels. Brady into his mid-40s, LeBron still. LeBron's been in the NBA for 18 or 19 years.
Crazy.
It's just, it's amazing.
James, what's that number that he put out that he spends annually on?
Wasn't it like $1 million? Like $1 million.
I want to say 1.4. Yeah.
I can't believe it's just that it's that little. I actually think it would probably be higher for him.
I mean, I know Denny hates these, but I got a massage today.
Oh, yes, I hate massages.
So, like, the place to went to, they don't pay us, so I'm not going to give them props, but it's really good. And you can spend.
Robert Kraft sent you?
No. Oh. No, not the Robert Kraft, the Deshaun Watson one.
Okay.
Like, this is all legit.
I'd avoid the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, allegedly.
Like, so I took a good shower. And then
you did go there.
No, before I got there. But then I took a shower and came in ashy because they got lotion.
Okay.
So I was sitting there thinking, like, man, I could get one of these, like, treat myself like Prince Akeem and Coming to America, like every day, just to get lotion. I was like, I was crunching the numbers. Say, oh, if I got, that's roughly about $35,000 a year. Like, why would I pass it? That's not. I don't have that, but that's not unreasonable if I'm a multimillionaire.
If you had it, you would do it.
If I had it, a cryo chamber, like it's like $60K to get it, and then you got to pay for obviously the upkeep. Like, so when you really start, he has that, he has a masseuse, he has his nutritionist. Like, when you start adding this stuff up, like it's probably obviously it's money well spent, but he probably, unless he's just overpaying, probably isn't that far off.
Yeah, I mean 1.4 is a lot of money, but
right.
But when you're making what he's making and your body is your,
he might pay a little bit more.
Yeah,
but they said he's made over $1 billion already.
He has? Oh, you're talking about with everything.
Yeah, with everything.
Yeah, it's interesting though. When you mention him and Tom Brady, those are the two guys that the level they're playing at the age that they're playing at is ridiculous. But those also are the two guys that are somewhat famous for their offseason regimen. Like, I mean, it definitely makes sense. I mean, who are some older guys like that played 20, 30, 40 years ago that did the same type of stuff?
Warren Moon was in his 40s when he played quarterback, right?
I mean, what was the technology telling us then? What was the big thing back then of how you took care of yourself, Doc? Because was it just cold tubs and, and eating right?
It was cold tubs. Did anybody even eat right?
Did anybody even know what eating right was back then?
Like, think about Satchel Paige.
I think we still don't even really know. You know, that's still evolving, but we can track so many more things more accurately. I mean, even like the Whoop is a great example, right? Like, you know, Whoop tracks things, and everybody can get one of those. And so, even on some level, that's probably rudimentary compared to what some of these guys are using, but tracks everything from your recovery to your sleep to your heart rate to your respiratory rate. I mean, it's so easy to access that information, that data now.
Yeah, it is.
No one was doing that 20 years ago.
Yeah, it is interesting when you think about it like that. When you think about, I don't know, I mean, you think of Michael Jordan days. You think of, I mean, the stories of him going out and drinking and smoking and all that kind of stuff. Like in today's age, you don't hear that from LeBron. You don't. Obviously, Tom Brady, the one time he drank, he tried to throw the Super Bowl trophy into the river. I mean, it is funny how much sports has changed in the past 20 years from that aspect.
Right. I saw this funny Jordan story that said, you know, if I told you I went out and drank 10 beers, played 36 holes of golf, you'd say, man, I probably had to rush home, grab dinner, and crawl into bed. How about if I told you I went out and scored 52 that night?
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Hey, Doc, with the draft coming up, obviously the major structural injuries that end a college football season are issues. Torn ACLs, MCLs, all that kind of stuff. But what about the little, you know, bang up like a dislocated finger? 3 months from now, should that even still be a question, or do you, as an NFL team, do you just say, okay, he's going to be fine?
I mean, I think in this day and age, they're going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. So, I mean, they're going to want to make sure that even something small like a finger that completely checks out. But those minor things, there's enough time between the end of the season and the draft that most of those things can get successfully treated, rehabbed, and then you can get a clean bill of health heading into the draft.
Is there one of those injuries like that? And I'm referring to Devontae Smith, who dislocated his finger in the championship game. But are there injuries like that that are worse than what we all realize, that take longer to recover for, that could be an issue well into summer type of thing, that we hear and we're like, oh, it's just this or just that, but it is a real pain to rehab and get better from?
No, I mean, I think most of those things that are going to linger into the summertime are the ones that you said, like the ACLs, like the shoulder surgery for a dislocation. You know, those are the things where the rehab is going to take a longer period of time and is going to linger. Those other ones, for the most part, are going to, again, you're going to be able to be completely better by draft time.
So
unless it doesn't get identified, right? The other thing is, you know, if something doesn't get identified initially, right, immediately at the end of the season, sort of like Trevor Lawrence a little bit, and a month or so goes by, and then you end up having surgery on it at that point.
What's our Tiger Woods update? Did I hear that he's back in Florida?
Back in Florida, yep.
Oh, man. Is that surprising to you?
No, I think, probably not. I don't remember the exact date of the accident, but it's been several weeks. And so that just means he's stabilized enough to get on his private plane and get back to Florida by himself. With, who knows, maybe a nurse or something even with him. But and then he's going to jump back into treatment in South Florida.
I don't know what the date of that was either, but at this point, what's his life like? Like, what is he, knowing what he went through, what is he, like, what is his rehab schedule now? Or is he even to that point? Or what is Tiger Woods' normal day looking like now?
I think he's probably still not doing very much from a rehab standpoint. He's probably still in either a splint or a boot, certainly still non-weight bearing. So he's using crutches to get around and probably just still working on trying to, keep the swelling down, keep the pain under control, but probably not doing very much from a rehab standpoint yet.
So the fact that we didn't hear anything about like any like infections or any of that stuff, that's all really, really good news, right?
Right. So it's an incredibly positive sign that we haven't heard any setbacks. I still think he probably had another surgery or two while he was in LA that no one, they didn't really publicize much, and he still may need to have some more back in South Florida. But really good sign that we haven't heard anything from a setback standpoint, from an infection standpoint, and a good sign that he was able to come back to Florida. That means things are certainly stable and heading in the right direction. He wasn't working his way through Atlanta airport and connecting on Delta on his way back, but still a really good sign that he was able to travel.
When are you out of the woods with all that stuff? Like when at what point is it like, okay, or is he already out of the woods with the infections, or with, all of a sudden there has been a setback based on the initial injuries?
No, on some level with that, with as severe as those injuries sounded, you're almost never really out of the woods. But once that the bones are completely healed, which is probably sort of 12 weeks from the time of injury, if they've healed, that's kind of a big step in the right direction, that there may not be any substantial complications. But there can always be some, when you have an open fracture like that and the bone comes through the skin, there can always be bacteria that's kind of, no matter how well you kind of clean it out, can still be stuck in there. And even, down the road, you can still run into some problems. But that complete healing would be sort of the first big step that we're kind of in good shape.
And what's the time frame for something like that with Tiger? Like, when you say complete healing, I know you're not talking about back on the course playing golf.
Yeah, no, I just mean from the fractures, like on an x-ray, when his doctor's looking at the x-ray and saying, okay, these bones have healed. Generally speaking, it's about 12 weeks from the time of fixation for an injury as severe as that to be getting to the point where they're where their fractures are completely healed. And so that is by no means the time he's going to be back walking normally, playing golf or anything like that. That's just looking at an x-ray. Hey, okay, this is healed, which is a good sign that, there hasn't been any complications and things are moving in the right direction.
If you've got a knee or a shoulder issue, Dr. Chris Swanson is your dude. That's who you need to go to. That's who I go to. You should go there as well. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Locations all over town, so there's going to be one near you. But I'm telling you, if it's your knee or your shoulder, ask specifically for Dr. Swanson. Get to se-ortho.com. Doc, you still hitting the Peloton?
Yeah, doing my Peloton, man.
Yeah? How many times a week?
I've been trying to do it 4 or 5 times.
Have you gotten the T-shirt yet? Have you hit 100 rides?
I don't know if I get that. I haven't hit 100 rides yet. I don't know if I get that in as consistent as I'd like, but weather's warming up a little bit, so you can do a little more outside.
You're going to do stuff outside even though you got a Peloton?
Yeah, man.
When does the James Coleman jogging start back up?
Oh, it's this week.
This week?
Yeah.
You getting back on it?
Yeah, I got too cold. I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like,
you had to hibernate?
Yeah, I don't enjoy this enough. But I'm going to get back into it, man. I was kind of taping off.
Where do I get one of those sweet sportsden hats that everybody's wearing?
Everybody's wearing.
Everybody, but
we'll get you one. We got you. We got you covered. Will you wear it in surgery?
Oh man, I can't. I'm wearing it everywhere.
You'll wear it in the office?
I need it this weekend for the member tournament.
Man, none of them people listen to us at Atlanta Beach Country Club.
Highfalutin.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised.
Well, Doc, we appreciate you, man. Sorry about last week, but we definitely appreciate you coming on. And again, get to Dr. Chris Swanson if you've got any knee or shoulder issues at se-ortho.com. Have a great week, Doc.
You too, guys.
All right, Dr. Chris Swanson. Let's take a break. We're back on track now, aren't we?
Yeah, we actually going to have to do a final segment.
Well, that's good. We got some stuff that we got to get to, including the text line. We'll do that coming up next.
March into the madness.
Enjoy the madness. On 1010XL, home of the NCAA Final Four.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. No one is funnier than you. People laugh just thinking about the things you've said. I'm laughing at one of them right now. Coworkers repeat your jokes at the office, but they're never as good as when you tell them, and shame on them for trying. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better knowing you could save when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Although I'm sure you'd have a funnier way to say that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
In 1921, U.S. Marine Corps surgeon Dr. Robert McKeever established the first urologic practice in Florida, the McKeever Clinic. I'm Dr. West. 100 years later, we continue to carry on his life's work in providing complete urologic care in Jacksonville. We have 13 board-certified urologists with many areas of expertise to provide the highest level of care for both men and women. Visit McKeeverClinic.com to learn more about how we can help. McKeever Clinic, innovators in urologic care since 1921.
Slacker plumbing.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need a plumber over here right now.
Yeah, well, we don't have any openings for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
I was just changing the shower head and the water line broke and it's flying everywhere.
All right, 1 week.
What if I throw you an extra $100 to come now?
What's the address?
It's 205.
Well, I guess he changed his mind.
If you've got a leak that can't wait a week, call Roland Reich Plumbing and fix your plumbing problems fast. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
You'll hear Pete Prisco, senior NFL writer for CBS Sports, every Friday on The Frangie Show, brought to you by Showtime, Sports Cards and Collectibles.
There's a world of difference between and that's why you can trust Famous Automotive and Tire when it comes to your vehicle's care. Because there's a difference between and. It all starts with the triangle of safety. Your tires, brakes, and the front end. Take care of those 3 points and your car will take good care of you. Start at Famous Automotive and Tires. 6 locations servicing every customer like they're famous.
Hacker here. Peninsula Pest Control will tell you that fleas can enter your home on your pets, or even on your own shoes. Treating them correctly and breaking their life cycle is the only way to control fleas both inside and outside in the yard. Call Peninsula today, 389-3491 for a free consultation, or go online to crittergetter.com. Ask about the $30 discount on new services. Remember, Peninsula is your critter getter.
Claude Nolan Cadillac respects your time and strives to make every visit a pleasure. Customers come back because you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. Don't forget about their service department with 10 master technicians. The only Cadillac dealership in the area with a body shop and can fix any make or model. Claude Nolan Cadillac, Jacksonville's Cadillac dealer for 116 years. Near the town center off JTB on Southside Boulevard and Gate Parkway. Begin your lasting relationship at Claude Nolan Cadillac.
I'm John Haney, owner of Clearwater Irrigation. Can you believe the average homeowner spends over 5 hours a week of their valuable time pulling hoses? Then there are those who own a sprinkler system that makes no sense at all. It sprays here and there, but nowhere where you need it. Call us at Clearwater Irrigation and we'll design a system that makes sense to you.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com. This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000.
I tell you the difference between me and them. They trying to get their ones, I'm trying to get them amps.
1010XL. Join us in the Sports Den. Call or text 641-1010.
This is the Sports Den filling in for Into the Night. If you're just joining us, sorry you missed us. We won't be here from 8 to 10. 6 to 8 tonight. What is it tomorrow night? 8 to 10 tomorrow night?
8 to 10 tomorrow night.
7 to 9 Wednesday night. 6 to 8 at Mr. Chubby's Wings in Ponte Vedra on Thursday, and 6 to 8 on Friday night.
Get RJ some booze.
Some well-made chicken.
Yep.
Yes.
Some very well-made chicken.
Yes. We'll be doing that on Thursday night. At the break, intern Cam was telling me a story that I wanted him to tell you about. Well, a little situation that happened in the NFL, and I want to get your take on how you would have handled this.
Oh dear.
Go ahead, Cam. Take it.
Okay, James. So I bring this up because I know this is kind of one of your pet peeves. So defensive lineman Michael Brockers, formerly of the Los Angeles Rams, after the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford trade, goes on TMZ and says it's a level up.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know who that was.
Yeah. Problem is, Michael Brockers just got traded to the Lions. So now he's on the team where he just said the quarterback was a level up, that he just got traded.
So now he's got to lie.
Yeah. The problem with this is after the comments came out, he texted Jared Goff and apologized to him for the comments.
Wait, before he went to the Lions?
Before he
so
went to the Lions.
So he's already apologized, so now he's having to re-apologize.
He apologized, and after
Privately.
he gets traded, he apologizes to Goff again about the whole situation.
So does a double negative make it positive? Does two apologies make it right?
I mean,
what do you really want?
He didn't
I didn't know
lie.
about the private apology. I don't like the private apology.
Yeah, He didn't lie. No, what he might have apologized, like, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
I'm sorry,
I'm not
very good.
Like he said, I'm not saying I'm sorry that like I said it. I'm more sorry that it kind of hurt your feelings, but it's the truth.
But why the first text?
Maybe he was like, maybe Jared was like, "Yo, dude, what the freak, man?" He's like, "Well, I wasn't saying like I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but you see the stats too. You watched the film, Jared. Would you take you over him?"
I mean, life comes at you fast, bro.
But that is one of those life comes at you fast. But this is why I said just
Cam's got more to say.
Well,
Go ahead. Put a mic in front of him, and now he wants to talk all the time.
Well, after the initial comments came out, he texted him. The text was saying he was just trying to boost his team up. That he didn't mean any disrespect. That you took me to a Super Bowl. I still love you, type of thing.
I wonder if Jared Goff initiated that.
With all due respect, it's in the Geneva Convention, Jared. You got to forgive me.
I wonder though that first one, if Jared Goff initiated that.
Jared initiated.
You think he texted him? Like, what do you say though? What do you say? Like, yo,
because
Brock.
My thing is like this. Why would I apologize to you if I don't feel like I'm ever going to see you again?
Well, I mean, maybe you didn't. Well, you're right, because he absolutely meant what he said.
Yeah,
what he said was the truth.
That's the problem I have. Like, you can if I don't mind the apology for saying I didn't. Some things that are truth hurt other people's feelings.
Mm-hmm. But they need to hear it.
That's not what my intention was. My intention was to just tell the truth. I feel bad for you feeling sorry. I'm not one of those guys.
Whoa. I thought there was 11 lawsuits against Deshaun.
No, it's 22 now, right?
13.
Oh. I don't care.
Wow, I just didn't know.
Like, what's messed up about this is that I'm hearing things about Deshaun that I was okay with not hearing. Like, if he's if he's pushing the envelope and being aggressive and okay, fine. He's paying for massages and extra. That makes him, he has something in common with billionaires. But just like something else in common with billionaires, I was okay not knowing that.
Just like we were okay with not knowing about Robert Kraft.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I didn't need to know how many fingers Bob Kraft liked. Unless you're talking about fingers of alcohol, like fingers of liquor. Like, I don't need to know that he, bottom line is that's not cool. Like, I don't know what he can do. Like, there's no amount of lawsuits that he can go to clear his name that's going to make me unforget these things. Like, he can maybe score some touchdowns.
What, though? We have to say we were wrong about Deshaun on one thing. It's a good thing he did not settle the first one.
Right, because but this is the same
he had another
lawyer.
12 coming.
But this is the same. I think the same lawyer probably wouldn't go look for other girls.
I don't know.
Who knows? But I think my problem is this: is that I really, if he did do something, man, I hope those girls get justice. But like right now, this man is getting laid out in the court of public opinion, and that's never a way to try anything, in my opinion. But
I think one thing it's going to do is going to save JJ.
Well, he's not leaving. I thought, did JJ say he was going to play or he wasn't going to be?
Oh, yeah, he said he was going to play.
So
he was going to play he'd play the first game with the Houston Texans, is what he said.
I don't know if he's going to play.
You think the NFL may step in?
And that's the part that stinks, is that Roger Goodell's power got taken a little bit, but he still has damn near absolute authority.
Yeah. I mean, a week ago when this first came out, or a little bit longer than that, we didn't even talk about it because it was like, man, this isn't going to be anything.
But it's the same story, just with a different person. And a lot of the stuff is like again, I think he might have had some kind of intercourse with the people, but as I heard them kind of toward the end of Frangie's show, Lou, Lauren, and Hayes were discussing it. And while I heard illegal activities, I didn't hear anything that was non-consensual.
Right.
I heard bartering. Now if you want to go lock them up for that, then you gotta lock the girl up too. That's the part that stings.
Yeah, it'll be
interesting to see how it plays out.
I don't even know if it will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much.
I mean, not interesting to me. It'll be interesting to his life. Like, it's gonna either change it for. It's gonna change it better, worse or worse.
Yeah. Yep. All right, we gotta run. We'll be back tomorrow night. We got to work on Tuesday, man. 8 to 10 tomorrow night, right here, the Sports Den, filling in for Rick Ballou and Into the Night. We'll see you guys then. Y'all have a great evening.
Filling up graves, gang banging, gang banging, gang banging.
Daniel Murphy on